Hey y'all, and welcome back to Rebel with a Cause, Call to the Case. I'm Kitty. Today we are taking on a topic that might seem like entertainment on the surface, but at its heart is about very real lives, very real loss, and hard questions about how we treat people for our own amusement. This episode is for information and entertainment purposes only. Everything we discuss is alleged, and you should always do your own research. Before we get started, a quick content warning. We'll be discussing mental health issues and topics related to that, if you know what I mean. If you or anyone you know is struggling, please know help is available. In the US, you can call 988. In the UK, it's 116-123. This episode is dedicated to the memory of Sophie Gradon, Thalassitis, and Caroline Flack, whose lives mattered far beyond just their time on our TV screens. We're talking about Love Island, UK, the hit dating show that sells the fantasy of finding love on TV, but whose format and industry practices have possibly, maybe allegedly, played a role in the deaths of 3 people connected to it. Let's start with the basics. Love Island is a British reality show that launched in 2015. It places attractive singles in a glamorous villa, asks them to couple up to stay on the show. They flirt, they fight, they recouple, and in the end, the winning couple walks away with a monetary prize. It's massively popular, it's fun, dramatic, and people love to watch the chemistry, the betrayals, and the bombshell arrivals that shake things up. But behind the glossy, sun-soaked fantasy is something darker. Love Island sells the promise of love, but it doesn't nurture it. Instead, it destabilizes it. And let's dig into that. In reality, Love Island is actually a competition, and love is the currency that keeps you in the game and on the show. Producers bring in new people to steal partners and test loyalties. In one season, there's even a twist, Casa Amor, where half of the islanders go to a separate villa and are tempted to cheat. Contestants are forced to publicly choose who they want to stay with or who they reject. It's built for drama, not for trust. Imagine trying to build a real relationship when the entire structure is about betrayal, jealousy, and insecurity. Is it even fair to call this a dating show when the rules demand that you hurt each other for entertainment? Another aspect is performance. Contestants know that they are being filmed 24/7, and they know the audience is voting. They're encouraged explicitly and implicitly to be entertaining. Love becomes a show. You don't have to feel it, but you do have to sell it. If you're too boring, you might get dumped from the island, or worse, edited out of the narrative entirely. Contestants feel pressure to act in ways that might hurt them emotionally just to stay relevant. And what we see on TV isn't reality. It's a story shaped in the editing room. Producers craft narratives, heroes, villains, clowns, and heartbreakers. That editing can turn private arguments into public humiliation. It can make someone look cruel or foolish, and the audience responds to it. People don't just watch, they judge. They meme or however you say that. They insult, and contestants go from strangers to international punchlines overnight. Thalassitis was nicknamed Muggy Mike by the media, and that label followed him everywhere long after the show. After leaving the villa, contestants often face an avalanche of attention that they weren't expecting, despite probably signing waivers for it. Their bodies, personalities, private lives are picked apart by tabloids and social media. Sophie Gradon, and I hope I said her name right, spoke about severe online bullying. She said she couldn't believe how cruel people could be. Thalassitis faced relentless headlines mocking his love life and persona. Caroline Flack, the show's own host, was hounded by tabloids, even during a mental health crisis, accumulating in devastating consequences. Imagine millions of people dissecting your worst moments. How would you cope? Here's the truth, in my opinion anyway. Love Island profits from emotional pain. It's entertaining to see the tears, tantrums. It's compelling to watch someone's heartbreak on the screen. But these aren't characters. They're real people. They have real emotions, real families, friends, and futures. And the show and the culture around it turn deeply human vulnerability into a commodity. Let's remember the 3 people who died after the involvement with the show. Sophie Gradon was 32 years old when she died in 2018. She appeared on Love Island in 2016 and immediately became popular for her wit, charm, and kindness. Sophie was also known for making history on the show as part of the first same-sex couple. But behind the scenes, she spoke openly about struggling with anxiety and depression. After the show, Sophie faced relentless online bullying. Trolls mocked her looks, relationships, and her time on the show. She said it felt like she couldn't escape it, describing the abuse as horrific. In June 2018, Sophie died and an inquest found that she had consumed alcohol and cocaine before taking her own life, and the coroner ruled it as likely impulsive. Her family and friends and fans were devastated. Her death forced the public to ask hard questions about how online abuse, mental health care for reality stars, and whether producers were doing enough to support the contestants after the cameras stopped rolling. Sophie wasn't just a reality star. She was a daughter, a friend, a whole person who deserves safety and compassion. 𝒃𝒽𝓃 was 26 when he died in March 2019. He appeared on Love Island in 2017, where he was branded Muggy Mike by tabloids, a nickname meant to shame and humiliate him, even after leaving the show. That label followed him everywhere. The press treated him as a punchline instead of a person. He also faced massive online trolling, with strangers mocking his love life and masculinity. Behind the public image, Mike was struggling deeply. He talked to friends about feeling overwhelmed, and he was grieving the recent death of his grandmother, who was very close to him. He was also under financial pressure, despite the public perception that reality TV stars are always rich and happy. Mike died by suicide in North London Park. An inquest confirmed that a note he had left, and his death highlighted the brutal gap between the glamorous image of reality TV and the harsh reality contestants can face afterward. Sudden fame, extreme scrutiny, and little support for their mental health. Mike deserved empathy, not mockery. He was more than an edited villain that he was made out to be. Caroline Flack. She was the longtime host of Love Island, known for her lively personality and charm. But even as the face of the show, she wasn't safe from the cruelty of tabloid culture. Caroline's personal life was endlessly dissected in the press. In late 2019, she was charged with assaulting her boyfriend, a case that received massive sensationalized coverage, despite her plea of not guilty and her boyfriend saying that he didn't want to proceed. The media frenzy was relentless, and she was suspended from Love Island during the investigation. Headlines ridiculed her, social media piled on, and she faced enormous legal and personal stress. Caroline died by suicide in her London flat. She left behind a note as well. Her death was a gut punch to the UK. It sparked national conversations about how media responsibility, online hate, and how quickly we tear people down that we once celebrated. Caroline was more than a TV host. She was a person who needed help, not harassment. After the deaths, ITV faced intense backlash. They introduced stricter duty of care policies, more thorough psychological screenings, counseling offered before, during, and after filming, financial management, and social media training. These changes matter, but they came after 3 lives were lost. Many argued that there's still not enough because the fundamental problem remains. The show's entire format is built on conflict, betrayal, and public scrutiny. Can you really make Love Island safe without changing what it is? This isn't just about ITV or producers. It's about us as viewers. We tuned in, we voted, we tweeted, and we judged. We brought the magazines home with humiliating headlines. We can't claim no responsibility. If we demand entertainment at the cost of human well-being, what does that say about us? As we close, I want to honor Sophie, Mike, and Caroline as people, not just as TV figures. Their lives were complex, full of joys and struggles, and they deserved compassion. If you're listening today and you're struggling, please know that you are not alone and help is available. Again, you can call 988 in the US, and in the UK it's 116123. Thank you so much for joining me on another Rebel with a Cause called to the case. Until next time, stay hopeful, stay compassionate, and stay calm. Goodbye.